Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today we're going to be discussing the stock market for June 4th through the 8th. We do this every single week, release on Monday. Actually went over to my channel, took a look at the stock market weekly recaps. We've done 32 videos. Only 9 people have viewed this playlist, but it's there for historical reference. That's why I like to do these. I take a look at the 3 major indexes, go over some stocks that were big on the news this week, go over home building numbers, gold, silver, oil, bonds, and then sort of kind of ended there. So here, I like to just kind of do this for historical references. You go back to February, you look at March, you can see that the market dropped by 5-10% within 2 weeks. And these past 2 weeks have been in the positive. This week, of course, in the positive, starting with the S&P 500. 4 out of the 5 days in the positive. 5-day change up 1.62%. Year to date up 3.94%. In first place, we had the Dow Jones kicking back. Lots of strong stocks within the Dow Jones kind of moving. We had movement from General Electric. I know some people were talking on the dividend forums or the dividend chats that I'm on Facebook. They're saying, hey, should I buy into some General Electric? And everyone's posting old Yeller photos and memes. So nobody's trusting General Electric right now. We also had some movement back up from Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Philip Morris. Boeing helped them out. I'm not sure if Target is part of the Dow, but I know back on Tuesday when I was going to do a video on the Dow that 50% of the stocks within the Dow were actually in the negative. There were 17 stocks within the Dow Jones 30 that were in the negative. Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, ExxonMobil, IBM, they were all in the negative. JP Morgan looks like they moved into the negative. Goldman Sachs was in the negative for the year. JP Morgan was one of the better ones of the two. And a few other stocks there were in the negative. So I was actually going to be making a video covering some of the stocks within the Dow Jones that could be potential buys. One of them, for example, moved up a lot this week. McDonald's, after the release of some new products that they're doing here. The NASDAQ 4-day change, 5-day change up 1.21%. 4 out of the 5 days in the positive. They're the leader right now as far as the 3 major indexes at 10.75% up year to date. Of course, the Russell 2000 does currently beat the NASDAQ as far as growth, but I don't really track that one as much as I should. Maybe I should include it in the videos. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, starting off with our news, we have Microsoft. As you know, I posted over on Facebook that they announced that they're doing an acquisition with GitHub. They're buying them up for $7.5 billion. There was some mixed reviews between, investors and users of GitHub and such. So the shares once again moved into new highs and then kind of came down on Thursday. I don't know. I didn't read anything as to why they moved down on Thursday. This could just be normal ups and downs. But as far as what I was able to recap and just kind of quickly glance over, I didn't see a whole lot of what caused them to move down slightly on Thursday. Netflix, they moved up into new highs. They're added over to the S&P 100 this week. So they were moving into the S&P 100. They also released some numbers that they were doing. I believe they had some debt or something like that. They released some numbers of their debt at the same time that there was news breaking out that they were moving into the S&P 100. That kind of kept their stock flat once it had moved up high. And, kind of just continuing. A little bit of a pullback on Thursday and Friday, but still 5-day change up 0.18%. Apple moved to record highs again this week. Friday, falling by more. Initially, I believe they fell by 2% early morning pre-market hours before rising back up 8% and ending at negative 1.02%. And that was mainly due to they released an article or some other company that they work with were saying that 20% or fewer of their components are expected to debut in the second half of 2018. I actually have the article here. I posted another one over on Facebook. This one just kind of covers the same exact information according to Nokia, they're expected to release roughly 20% or fewer components of the upcoming iPhone, which includes blah, 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 blah. So just general information. We've had this kind of scare already in the past prior to the earnings. Remember, Apple dipped by 10%. That's when I bought Apple at $162. I'm still holding that within my IRA and will continue to hold it and reinvest those dividends back into Apple. Now, Amazon moving in the record highs, breaking out. I didn't see any news as for Amazon besides that they're unveiling a new Alexa-powered device for their Fire TV Cube. So that's all I could find there. Here, they're unveiling it, and that's all I saw for Amazon. My friend is still heavily invested in Amazon, and I pat him on the back for that. Now, kind of get into the Dow. I don't know if Target is part of the Dow, but whoops, making some noise there. Beep beep. No, okay, so Target's not part of the Dow, but I still wanted to include it this week. Target moving into moving off some of those bottom numbers, up 7.17%. I'm not sure. I just thought this was a great stock. I know a lot of people are talking about retail right now, Costco, Target. What are some other ones? Macy's, and a couple other ones. What's the other one? I can't think of it. Kroger's, I think. But there's a lot of those retail stocks right now that had been beaten down so much because people are throwing at Amazon's going to be killing all these brick and mortar stores. Walmart, for example, still down year to date. That could be a potential good one to look at. We're going to be doing this video here coming up talking about some of the stocks that are negative within the Dow, and we'll be taking a look at Walmart, Triple M, and a few others. I would like to see if there's anything good in there. I think that would be a good video. So Target up, 5-day change up 7.17%. Boeing helping up the Dow this week. 5-day change up 3.58%. Year to date up 25.29%. I believe my wife owns this one within her Roth IRA over on M1 Finance. Some of the stocks there, they go through my mind and they don't stick very well, but I didn't see any news. I think I saw some news for a contract or something like that. Contract upgrade I thought I saw some other news as far as Boeing. I know there was some tariffs last week, and then Mexico and Canada and some other countries talking about implementing tariffs back. So Mexico doing pork, cheese, Canada looking to do it dollar for dollar as far as what we're going to be taxing them. I didn't see any movement down because of that with any sort of metals and such. Not silver, but anyways, kind of continuing on. Philip Morris jumped up this week nearly 1.6%, and the company has actually been expanding into India. India is apparently its second largest population of smokers. It is the second largest population of smokers, so Philip Morris is looking to launch their new smoking device over there, and this is good news for Philip Morris. It's one of those stocks right now that's in the Dow, down nearly 25%. If they can turn this around, expand over into India, that's going to open up some new doors for them. They've also increased their dividend payment from $1.07 to $1.14. So that's good for investors. I know dividend investors over on the dividend Facebook groups were very happy with that. They were posting that up this week. So McDonald's, they released that they're going to be doing, I think I talked about McDonald's a little bit. So on Facebook, talked about GitHub, talked about CEO of Starbucks stepping down, wants to maybe possibly move into becoming a president here in the future. SoftBank doing some investments in General Motor. I didn't talk about General Motor. So I didn't talk about McDonald's. So McDonald's, they released some articles saying how they're going to be installing some thousands of units into, automated systems into some of their facilities. And they're also doing a string of layoffs. So somehow that news caused their 5-day change, their stock to rise up by 6.13%. So good news for McDonald's, still down year to date by 1.86%. McDonald's, I look at it as all over the world. They're bringing in some money right now. Still down year to date, but I do expect McDonald's to change and continue to grow here in the future, and then of course long term, McDonald's isn't going anywhere. They'll transition and change with the markets, what the markets want, and what the people want, and they will continue to grow. So Tesla, another one that surprised me this week. There was a lot of bashing on Tesla over the last few weeks, months, and so on. That they're, first of all, they're unprofitable. They're expected to become profitable though here in the future, I think is what I had heard. Not 100% sure on that. Just something I may have heard, and it's kind of rattling in my head. But anyways, Tesla had announced that they were doing, some of their production vehicles. So their Model 3 vehicle, their goal of 5,000 vehicles had actually been met, and they were actually looking to produce more of their batteries than all other companies combined, including China. So that was all overall good news. That was all released by Elon Musk, and a lot of the investors were very bullish in the news, and that they will not need capital market for more financing. So every year they spend billions of dollars, but they also they set up some sort of funds in order for their investors and their backers to fund them. But this year they're not looking for that. They said that they will be able to do that all on their own, and they won't need any sort of capital market. So of course their stock did jump by 8.85%. So very unexpected there. And also they're going to be opening up a warehouse, a production warehouse over in China. China had talked about allowing Tesla, Ford, General Motors, I believe, to set up shop overseas, and that'll help out with the tariffs. Instead of exporting to China and having to pay those tariffs, we'll have a company or Tesla, Ford, General Motors will have some sort of warehouse there where they're able to produce, sell it there locally without having to worry about paying tariffs on that. So that'll help out the company as well going into the future. Now Twitter hit new highs as well, up. This is one of those ones just like Netflix, up very high year to date, up 71.67%. This one hitting record highs as well. The company is actually going to replacing Monsanto on the S&P 500. So if you look up ticker symbol MON right now for Monsanto, you will see that it doesn't exist any longer. You won't find Monsanto right now. So Twitter, ticker symbol TWTR, is going to be replacing that within the S&P 500. And the one, what do I have here? Okay, here. I actually have an article pulled up for it. So I was reading a little bit about that, how they're supposed to be replacing it, why they're replacing it and such. So I thought that was kind of an interesting article. I didn't talk too much about Facebook this week, but Facebook had released that they were working with some Chinese companies overseas. And I thought I had read that some of the private information that's supposed to be kept private had become public, but I wasn't really following that one as much as I should. All these little information here, tidbits here and there, I hear them throughout the week, and then I kind of added them into my notes to kind of discuss, and then I can't really cover it all because then I forget what exactly happened that week. So yeah, Facebook, with the news of China, with the news maybe that they had leaked some of their private information that was supposed to be private to public, that caused their 5-day change, the stock to go down by 2.52%. Still up year to date by 7.16%, but there's lots of those other stocks out there that are actually doing surprisingly well. Now, one of the ones that I know back in 2017 had been getting all sorts of hate. If we take a look at this, not year to date, if we take a look at Under Armour, since last year, this stock, man, it had been at $20, riding all the way down, all the way below $10 at a point. So if I look up UA, I don't know if I've ever covered Under Armour in the past, but I know my buddy, he liked to buy Under Armour, not the stock, just the clothing itself. And if we take a look at, I don't need that. So the lowest point here is at $10.59. During the day, I believe, one of their lowest points had actually been below. Okay, so actually no. Their lowest point is at $10.36. But imagine if you had bought in during those lows. You're like, you know what? I think Under Armour can turn it around. I'm going to go ahead and invest. You'd be up more than 111%, or right at 111%. So very nice comeback right there. Did not expect that at all for Under Armour. They had actually been upgraded, and that's what caused them to rise by 15.88% for the week. Now, taking a look at home construction. Home construction is up. I know a couple of these weeks we take a look at home construction. They're down, they're up, they're down, they're up. This week they're up 4.66%. Still down year to date by 7.5%. So interesting one there. If you guys are interested in taking a look at the home construction ETF, that's ticker symbol ITB. Taking a look at oil. Oil came down. I believe it was around $66 a barrel. Their 5-day change up 0.15%. Year to date up 10.49%. With the airline ETF crash and on oil price jump. So maybe oil did jump up a little bit more out of that $60 point. I wish it would kind of show you how much it would, a little bit more news in here. Let's go check out news. I don't believe oil ETF plunges on hopes of the output boost. Okay, so other than that, just kind of tracking the oil. 5-day change up 0.15%. Silver and gold up positive this week. Silver, of course, jumping up 2.20%. If we take a look here, year to date, still down in the negative by 1.31%. Usually when I see the market going up, the silver, gold, those tend to go down. So kind of seeing the market rising at the same time as gold and silver rising, that was kind of unusual for me. I know I had invested in gold back in 2016 and 17. Early 2017, I bought like a gold ETF and had held it for a while. Did very well for about 2 or 3 months, and the market turned around, and that kind of went down very quickly. Not very quickly, but like 8%. I didn't have very much in it. I just wanted to kind of buy it, see what it was like to hold. And I don't, if I'm going to buy gold, I'd rather buy physical gold. I have silver here behind me. I think I may do a video, kind of go over these silver mints. I think that would be kind of a cool video. And then bonds going down right now. 5-day change up 0.28%. When I looked at the yield of the bond, it's at a 3.13% right now. So this kind of goes on week after week. Bond yield will rise above 3%. Someone will buy a whole lot of bonds. It'll drop down to 2.9%. And then it'll kind of trend sideways for a little bit and then kind of rise back up above the 3.0 mark. And then bonds will get bought back up, bringing it back down. So right now, 5-day change down 0.28%, causing their yield to go up. Their current yield right now is at a 3.13% when I had last looked at it. So this could be a good one to invest in. If you're looking to just buy and hold and earn some sort of yield, take a look at ticker symbol BND. That is the Vanguard Total Bond Index Fund. And I think we already covered some of the news that we talked about over on Facebook. I released a video on Sunday talking about the end of the month Roth IRA portfolio changes. Microsoft buying GitHub on Monday. CEO of Starbucks is be stepping down. He's looking to possibly expand into presidency here in the future. 9 stocks are keeping the Dow positive. More than 50% of the Dow is in the red year to date. Whoop, whoop. So a lot of the stocks there, I forgot what were some of the stocks that were keeping it afloat. Apple, Boeing, and if actually I don't have it sorted right now. I think I closed out of my Excel. Also, Goldman Sachs increased their annual percent yield. When I had originally began using that high yield savings account, it was at a 1.5%. They raised it to 1.6%. They recently raised it back to 1.7%. So I thought, I'd share that with you guys. If you guys are using a high yield savings account, I had looked around and 1.7 is pretty good for Marcus, but apparently if you take a look at bank rates, I had another viewer there post some other high yield savings account. A lot of these stocks, I'm not very familiar with stocks. Goldman Sachs, pretty familiar name. And it looks like, some of the other ones out there are at a 1.85, such as Citibank. If you go look at Citibank's high yield savings account, that's at a 1.85. So this is all SoftBank invested in General Motors on their self-driving cars. I think I had mentioned this earlier this week. So we're doing a giveaway on the channel. if you have not yet watched the video, that we're doing a $10 Amazon gift card giveaway. Basically, there's 3 things you got to do to enter. First, you have to be subscribed to the channel. You have to leave a comment below that video as to what your favorite investment vehicle is. It could be stock market, your retirement accounts, your Roth IRA, could be real estate, could be cryptocurrencies, could be savings bonds. Just let me know what it is. Give me a little bit of detail. I do stock market, I do growth stocks, dividend stocks. I do real estate, I do fix and flips, I do rentals. So go ahead and check out that video. I'll have it in the description below, and also I'll have it in the comment section. Click on it, go ahead, let me know. And then third, you got to be subscribed to my blog over on the financial-investor.com financial-investor.com website. At the very top, enter your email, submit. You're going to get a notification every time I put out new content on my site, as far as blog posts and pages, I believe. I shouldn't be spamming you guys at all on there. So here, very happy for the markets rising. I did pull out a lot of my money out of the market, as you know, within the last month, move it into real estate, moved it into my business. So here, I posted earlier this week that the S&P had gained, or up here to date, 3.73, NASDAQ 5.84. I don't know where I pulled those numbers from. I don't know what, I don't know where that came from. So the financial, I also posted a video covering some of the basics. I want to take a step back from covering the stock market, from covering real estate, go back to the basics. What we all needed to do prior to investing. We needed to first calculate what's our net income. A couple of videos I want to discuss is how to calculate your net income. Look at your pay stubs. Based off your pay stubs, what's your average federal, your Social Security, your state deductions that are removed. Use those numbers to create your very own spreadsheet of getting your own net income. I shared one that I created. It's a demo for everyone to use, and you guys can check it out over on my Financial Investor channel. And then Bing, I was doing my Bing rewards. I like to do that. I do a lot of searches over on Bing and use it to get those fun little things over there. So they had actually done something very similar to Zillow, where you can actually look for real estate. I tried it out for about 3 minutes, did not think it was useful at all. I prefer to use Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, a couple other ones. I get emails to my email about anything that hops onto the MLS, so interesting stuff there. And then I kind of posted about why Apple was actually in the negative, and my portfolio moved into the red this week as far as my IRA. I believe my thrift savings plan is still in the positive. That one tracks the S&P 500, I believe, or the Dow, but all good news. And then kind of ending it over here on Merrill Edge on the weekly recap. Kind of goes over again the main indexes, talks about Starbucks CEO stepping down, that he'll possibly run for the White House here in the future, prompting speculation that he'll challenge President Trump for that 2020. Elon Musk talking about production of the Model 3, how they're on track, and that they probably won't be needing any. So their electric vehicle per week. So they're making 5,000 Model 3s per week. Retail's soaring again. We talked about Target. We talked about, that's basically all the ones that we talked about. Brick and mortar was Target. Facebook coming under scrutiny because they're working with at least 4 Chinese electronic companies that could be security threats to the American intelligence. Also, I believe some of their private information became public as far as, I think that was Facebook, not 100% sure. Apple moving down due to preparation that they're doing 20% fewer components. We already covered that. So here, this is new. U.S. has struck a deal to end crippling sanctions against Chinese telecom giant ZTE. That includes a $1 billion penalty and the implementations of a U.S. chosen compliance team to monitor the company going forward. So I believe this is one that makes some of the cell phones, and they're trying to sell them over here to AT&T and Verizon, but because there was a block put in place, they weren't able to do that. So here, they're getting ready to expand, and with the approval of Qualcomm and proposed acquisition. Oh yeah, we talked about, I think we covered that here in the past. We got a summit, and that is about it as far as what kind of goes on here week to week. So we are at 24 minutes right now. So hopefully we hit everything on the head that happened this week. If there's anything that I may have missed, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. I always like replying to your guys' comments. I like reading through them all, replying back to you guys. I do it very quickly. I'm on my computer quite a bit, especially at work, on a computer all the time, so I quickly reply to all of you guys. So I want to thank everyone for watching up to this point. If you did like the video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends. If you have any comments or just want to say hello, please leave it in the comment section below. I will always reply to you guys. As a friendly disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, tax professional, or any other sort of professional there. The information provided is my opinion for entertainment and fun. This is not investment advice. This is just me as a financial investor myself, trying to help others make their money work for them, looking for some news that's out there to benefit you guys. And of course, thank you all for tuning in. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.